Hello, Diane. I was wondering if you're afraid of dying. I'm 75. How many more years can I possibly live? I think I'm okay health-wise, but how many more years can I live? Am I afraid to die? Absolutely not. It's going to be a wonderful experience. I'm actually looking forward to it. I know you think I'm lying, but I am actually looking forward to it. Especially since I lost a grandson who I adored. I adored him. And I will get to see him again. And I know that I'll get to see him again. If it's not true. When you lose someone, I think you should find a Bible verse and hang on to it. And I found one, and I have hung on to it for 8 years since he died. Jesus said, if it were not true, I would have told you. Referring to talking about heaven and the mansions that are being prepared for us there. He said, if it were not true, I would have told you. I have hung on to that, and I will continue to hang on to it. Now, I hope that you're not afraid to die. And if you're worried about getting sick with something, you're going to be in pain. Well, nowadays there's medication to take care of all that. I'm not belittling anyone who is going through anything like that. All I'm talking about today is being afraid to die. You just shouldn't be. I'm going to tell you a little story that I have made a video about before, but that was last year and I gave up making videos, and here I am again talking about this again, but I'm going to explain it to you again. When my grandson died, my daughter would go out in the backyard at night and look up into the stars and talk to her son. She was so devastated. Well, you can only imagine. By the way, she was in the vehicle when the drunk driver struck them, and Kurt did not make it. She was trapped in the vehicle with him for over an hour. Over an hour. Just can't imagine what she went through. Okay, that brought me back somewhere that I don't want to be. So back to the story. She would look up into the heavens and talk to Kurt. And one night, she was out there, and she saw a feather floating toward her. And she said, I knew that the feather was coming to me. I knew it. So when it got to her, she just took the feather. It was white and had some blue at the bottom. Kurt's favorite color, blue. I know. You think I'm crazy, but don't. Okay, that feather meant so much to her. She felt like Kurt sent her that feather to bring her some kind of peace, to let her know that he was okay. So we agreed with her. Yes, that's what happened, Ashley. Oh, you're so lucky. You know, I know that made you feel better. So, like I have told you in other videos, I lived next door to her, and we had a path. We walked back and forth, you know. So I would, this is months after, maybe 4 months, three months after he passed. So I was walking home later, and in my path was a feather. And I stood there looking at it going, it's just a feather. Am I supposed to pick it up? Is it there for me, or am I being silly? Or I just decided to pick it up and think about it later. So I took it home, put it in a plastic bag, and didn't think about it. Of course, we're all talking as a family. We're all sharing things and grieving and you know, we uplift each other with the smallest little thing because we're all just devastated. So they all knew about the feather that Ashley got. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't want to take anything away from Ashley. Well, the rest of the family started running into feathers in weird places, like in a parking lot. There's a feather in front of someone, or I mean, it really felt a little crazy. My middle daughter, or third child, anyway you want to look at it, she's a teacher. She was walking her class to lunch one day, and she was having a bad day. You know, when you're grieving, some days you can't get out of bed. Some days you just need a little help. She's walking her class, and she said, "Kurt, I could really use another feather today." And it was not even a minute as she's walking, there's a feather in her path. And she picks it up. It made her feel better. It made her feel better. I started finding feathers. I found one in the living room floor. In the living room floor. I opened the door one day to go get in the van, and there was a feather on the porch at the door, just laying there. We all just started finding feathers. I mean, were we looking for them? I don't think so. We weren't tromping through the woods, you know, hunting them. They just came to us. To us, we felt like Kurt, or God, or the universe, or the big someone that's out there was trying to make us feel better and wanted us to know that our Kurt was in a better place and was happy and that he was okay. That's what those feathers did for us. How would that have happened if Kurt really weren't in a good place? We have to believe that he's in a good place, or what's the point? What's the point of anything? So that's my feather. Oh, I got 2 more feather stories that are incredible. To me, they're incredible. A friend of my daughter Ashley's, she was single at the time that her son died. It still is. But her friend wanted to take her to Florida and just take her away from everything, and just for a change of scenery, to make her feel better. We were all trying to find ways to make her feel better. So she went to Florida. One Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, I got a text from Ashley. She was on the beach early, and she had drawn a heart in the sand and wrote Kurt's name, and a feather just floated down and landed on his name. She was on the beach. You know how windy it is on the beach? And it stayed there. It didn't blow away. So she took a picture of it and she said, "Mom, look at this. A feather just landed on Kurt's name." I mean, I don't care what your religious beliefs are or how you think about things, but you got to know that that is a big coinky-dink. That made her feel so much better. So I'm getting this text, right? So I just start blubbering. Of course, I cried all the time, but I just couldn't stop crying. I miss that child so much. Okay. My son and his 2 children lived with me at the time. Thank God that they did, because I would have been alone and nights would have been more hellish than they already were. But my granddaughter heard me crying, and she woke up. And she came in the living room and said, "Gran, what is it? What's the matter?" So I told her about Ashley being on the beach and the feather. And she said she had not received a feather. And she said, I wish Kurt would send me a feather, Gran. They were so close. They were close in age. They spent every summer together because she lived with me and Kurt lived next door, so they would hang around all summer. We had a tree house in the back, a double-decker, and they would hang out there and eat lunch in there and swing, and they were just so close, so close. She missed him desperately. And I said, just ask for one, Evie. She said, who do I ask? What do you mean? And I said, just ask God, or ask Kurt, ask the universe. Just ask for a feather. So about that time, as we were talking, her mom actually pulled up to get her. I said, you better go get your stuff ready. Your mom's here. So she did. She went and got what she needed and, got dressed. Her mom came in. We were just talking about nothing. So Evie came out and told me bye, and she left with her mom. And as she's leaving, walking to the car, she starts telling her mom that I told her that she could just ask for a feather. Of course, Karen knew about the feathers. Everybody knew about the feathers. And Evie said, Gran said, all I have to do is ask for one. And I'm thinking Karen wasn't really listening. She was going, okay, yeah, good idea, whatever. So they were getting in the car, and right before Evie closed her door, a white feather just snuck right in the door, floated right in front of her. She started screaming, it's a feather, it's a feather. And Karen went, no, it's not, no, it's not. And she said, yes, Mother, it's a feather. And she reached down in the floorboard and picked up a feather. Her hands were shaking. I mean, come on. You've got to admit, that is awesome. So we all felt better about the feathers. How could that not happen? How could that have happened without there being a supreme being somewhere taking care of people who were in need of uplifting? Just gotta believe. So, if you're old like I am, there is no need to be in fear of what's beyond. It's got to be better in this place. Got to be. I'm looking forward to it. I'm treating it like this grand vacation that will never end. I can do what I want. I hope I'm a great painter in heaven. I hope I get to paint. That would be awesome. But anyway, if you're afraid to die, YouTube has many videos on people who have died and had experiences that are wonderful, that will make you feel okay about it. I remember my dad was afraid to die. And then he got dementia, so I don't think he was, thinking about being afraid anymore. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I'm going to paint because today's a painting day, and I'm going to paint a little girl on the beach that I will show you later. Okay, see you later.